Cloudya Softphone is not just a telephone. It is a place where every end user can manage their own settings, settings that apply also to any other devices that are used by NFON Cloudya user. So today we will go a bit deeper into those settings. As a reminder from our previous webinar, you access Cloudya by logging on a web page, startcloudya.com, with your email and your password. Logging in, you are inside the phone. But as I mentioned, it's not only a phone, it's also a place where you can set parameters of your account, parameters that will impact on how your phones behave and how you interact with your calling friends. So now we are inside the Cloudya Softphone. This account is called Sales Admin with extension number 30. You as the user have access to some basic settings of this interface of your Cloudya Softphone. First, you have a set of settings related to camera and audio inputs and outputs. And if you click on this extension name, you have the following. You can select which device is actually your device that is making the call, and this should stay here as up. You can see what is the phone range that you are working with for your outbound calls. And you can also see what are the numbers that have been assigned by the administrator to your particular account. That is, what are the phone numbers that you can receive incoming calls on. For example, if you are working with customers in two different cities, you can have distinct telephone numbers from respective geographical zones. You have also the possibility to click Do Not Disturb button and silence your ringtone. So what are other functional menu item options here? In this interface, you have access to your call history, regardless of which device call was made with. So even if you are talking on the hardware phone, the call record will be seen in the call history. You have access to the company phone book. You can invite people to the meetings, and you can manage the settings, which is the main subject of today's session. So let's have a look at basic user settings. What you can see is, of course, your login. You can change your password here. You have an option to select primary device that will be used for working in company queues. So if I click here, I can see that I have 3 devices that are connected to my account, and I can select the one that I'm working at the moment and will be used for incoming calls from queues defined by the administrator. So this is 2 DECT wireless handsets and this web application. What is important is that for calls direct to your phone number, all devices will ring simultaneously, and for calls coming through the company queue, only the primary device will pick the calls. You can set the language. You have also an option for call waiting. If you like your customers not to receive a busy signal when you are on another call, you can select this option. Welcome sound relates to startup jingle for the Cloudya application, so it's not that relevant. Intercom is the function that allows you to connect in a secretary mode with another phone and speak directly to the person, so that the person doesn't have to pick up the handset. Useful for secretary setups. Here you can turn it on or off. Parallel ringing is another useful function. You can configure a small group. You can make incoming calls trigger another phone number as well. So when you select this option, you can type in here either the name of the person inside your organization or any phone number. And when the call to your extension will be coming in, this phone number will also ring. So you can make sure that it's not only yourself, but for example, your friend in another room can pick the calls when you are not sure if you will be available at the very moment. Emergency country, yes, important for the companies which have multi-country presence. So when you move to another country, you can select the country for emergency calls. And nice feature, you can differentiate ringtones. So set different ringtones for external calls, for internal calls, and also for group or queue calls. On the same page, you have voicemail settings. Voicemail is a nice add-on to the system, which enables you to receive recorded voice messages, and those voice messages can be forwarded to your email address. And here you can just turn it on or off, and you can, of course, change the voicemail PIN as well. And this voicemail PIN might be needed for listening to the voice messages over the phone or to some other features of the system. Quite useful feature is called forwarding. So when you look at this interface, you can see that you have inside the standard profile, you have a number of call forwarding options. Standard option for all calls coming in, standard option for situation where your phone is busy, and standard option for the situation where you are not answering the call for a particular time. On the right-hand side, you can actually edit those options, turn them on or off. So for example, if we want to set forwarding of all calls somewhere, for example, to a mobile number, just type in the number. It can be any number in any network, in any country. And you can have all of your calls forwarded to such a number. If you change your mind, or if you are coming back from vacation, you can just turn it off and your phone will start ringing. But this number is remembered, so if it's your usual call forwarding destination, it's remembered and it's just enough to turn it on again whenever it is needed. You could also select your internal extension. So instead of to external number, you can call forward all incoming calls to your colleague at certain point of time. So we turn it off and our phone will be ringing. But what are other options? Other options is what is happening when you're busy. When you're busy and call waiting is not activated, then you can decide what is happening. Classical way is whenever you're busy, calling people can hear that you're busy, but you can also send the calls to voicemail. You can also forward to another phone number. This could be a company number or group phone of your department. No answer. What is happening when your phone is ringing, but you're not answering for a defined period of time? And this period of time in seconds can be selected here. This is the standard way to say 15 seconds. And so if you are not answering for 15 seconds, in this setup, call is reaching voicemail. But equally well, you can do a similar thing. You can send the call into any phone number, or you just turn it off. That means that there will be no time limit and your phone will ring as long as your customer is on the line. The other option is quite important. It's called not registered. This option applies to situations where your phone is not connected to any network. So IP connectivity is gone, you are not logged in. If you set this option on, then you have still a possibility to receive calls. For example, you can enter your mobile number. So in case of any failure of your phone device, or if you have forgotten to log in, your calls will be forwarded to a selected destination. So it's always recommended to set this failure option on queues. Under this option, the person can select company queues to work with. So if my queue is number 90, I can log into that queue, and from that moment, I will start receiving calls from that queue. When I'm finishing my work, I can at the same time just delete the queue and leave it. It is important that you are logging in, logging out from the queues, so the queue knows which people can actually receive calls and that your phone stops ringing whenever you're not at your desk. Function keys are actually the menu items, the favorite menu items listed on the first page. Those are the shortcuts that let you place quick calls to your favorite numbers. But also those items can show the status of your colleague. So if it's green, that means that this guy is available and you can make an internal call to such a person. If it would be red, that means the person is busy. You can edit those favorites already here, placing that button, but the same is available under function keys. And this is pretty important because those function keys are shared between all devices. So if you have any other hardware phone, or if you have a mobile application, this is the place where you program function keys for all those devices. And here you can add new function key, you can modify, or you can delete. And what you can do, you can select by entering, you can select, let's say we have a new one, key number 8, for example. Name can be any. You have to decide what is the type of the key. Is it a BLF, that means the internal busy lamp, or is it a speed dial, which is an external, just any external phone number? we skip the others for the while. So basically, external phone number is a speed dial and internal number is a BLF setting. And here you either type in the full number or you select the internal destination and just press save. Number 8 is done. Fax settings is just a place where you can add faxes that you are allowed to receive or send, but that has to be done together with your administrator. So we will not dig into that part. And downloads. Why do we need downloads if we are using the web application? It's just an option. Instead of using web application, you can install the same soft phone on your computer. This has some advantages, some reasons. One thing is a quick start when system is booting. And the other one is that you avoid accidental closure of your web browser. But you can have also an option called CRM Connect, an option that allows you to integrate with a number of CRM systems, and an option that allows you for functionality like click to call. So you can click on the phone number presented on the web page and start dialing. And this CRM Connect allows also to integrate with a number of CRM applications and Outlook and search for data of a phone number that is calling. So you can identify the person or company even before you are picking up the call. And what is also interesting is that the same set of application is available for Mac computers. For Linux, you need to use the browser version. And as usual, more content is available on our YouTube channel. So this video will be available there, and also following videos which are related to how to optimally use NFON Cloudya. Thank you very much for today.